Deficit bent over rows are an absolute game changer. In this video, we'll cover the major benefits, starting with the obvious: getting more out of less weight through range of motion manipulation. See, what determines the stroke of a barbell row? Torso angle. We got the Yates row, which is mostly upright, the most commonly used 45-degree angle, and then being bent forward all the way, similar to a Pendlay row. And in this case, we'd be standing on blocks or using smaller plates. That's what it means to pull from a deficit. And so what will happen 100% of the time is dropping the load considerably. But the stimulus itself isn't compromised. Sure, you may go from rowing 2 plates for reps to using 135 again, novice status, but it doesn't matter if it's the leverages. All we're really doing is cutting out our ego, making the exercise as difficult as possible, and eliminating the cheating component, because there isn't any desire to on a mental and physical level. See, you can take your time rowing since the spinal erectors won't be fatigued as much despite being in a worse position. The absolute load is a huge factor to consider, so you'll feel the muscles that you're actually trying to target. And so the upper back will appropriately fail at the right time as you get closer to 0 reps in reserve. The need for swinging goes down, as well as trying to catch the bar with your chest. You know that dipping form that many people use? That's no longer going to happen. Your form is cleaned up and the mind-muscle connection is enhanced that much more. In fact, I recommend rounding your upper back. Protract. You are in the perfect angle after all. Like if you do this in an upright position, it's the upper traps that get the weighted stretching effect. But when you're horizontal, which is the goal of a row, by the way, this is what we do on a seated cable row. We don't set it high like in a lat pull down. It's what we do on a seal row, which explains the difficulty, not just the strictness element. It's what we see in inverted rows when going through the easy to harder progressions. Basically, the flat position is where it's at, and it further lowers injury risk. So in this way, we could pile on additional volume. So for anyone who's already pulling heavy, you are taxed. Now you can do barbell rows and not feel destroyed anymore. But progressive overload can still take place. It's just less strength potential. But is that really a problem? It's not like we compete on barbell rows, and this is typically an accessory to raise our other lifts and just get a thicker upper back in general. So if we can do that with less fatigue, why not go for it? And if you stick to the 12 to 15 rep range, even better in my books, since I like to do them at the end of my volume day. It solves a lot of problems, and I think that's why Dr. Mike Israetel is so big on them. Anyway, that's about it. Deficit bent over rows are really simple, and I hope that you reintroduce free weighted rows after experimenting with this variation. So let me know how it goes, and if you have any questions about the exercise, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.